Well, in today's world of million-dollar muscle cars, it seems like every collector and every dealer is trying to sell their car as one of one. Well, in reality, what they're doing is they're actually looking at the combination of options. The only real important thing in a muscle car is truly the engine option. It doesn't matter the fact that it came with a Cobra Jet and a 4-speed and a rear end that's a 391, and it was red with a red interior and a pink ashtray. That combination may well be one of one, but in reality, they built 1,500 of that car. Well, in the world today of rare, this is probably one of the rarest muscle cars we've ever come across. Fact of the matter is, when we did some homework, as far as the literature is concerned, it doesn't exist. In 1969, they built 311 L89s. In 1970, no literature says any were built. Well, when Dave Frendell phoned me and said, I've got an L89 70 Nova SS that I'd like for you to restore, I said, the car doesn't exist. He says, it does exist. I've got the original Protecto plate, I've got the owner history, and I've got an original motor that's in the car that's 100% numbers match. Well, in order to authenticate that, we called up Brian Henderson. He's a renowned Nova expert. The two of us took this motor apart together. Lo and behold, the motor is definitely the original motor out of this car. We looked at the Protecto plate. It's the original Protecto plate for this car. It's a factory black 4-speed 12-bolt posi L89 Nova SS. As far as we're concerned right now, it's the only one in existence.
Well, let's face it, if it weren't for the L89 motor in this car, a plain Jane Nova is nothing to write home about. The suspension isn't fantastic. It certainly doesn't go around corners. It's got that E70 14 tire that really doesn't turn, stop, or do any of those things real well. But what this car is all about is super rarity, and that L89 motor is exactly that. The same basic innards as an L78. It's got a 4-bolt main, 11-to-1 compression, steel cranking rods. It's a real stout running piece. It's got those giant flowing heads, aluminum intake, and a big carburetor on top. Now behind that, this thing's got an M21 with a fairly rare Muncie shifter. Not that I'm that impressed with the shifter, but it gets the job done. Out back, a 12-bolt with a 350 gear, which really lets this thing wind out on the highway. It's a nice car to drive.
Well, normally you'd have to say, if a guy's going to spend 6 figures on a restoration on a Nova, he's a little bit twisted. Well, the fact of the matter is, Dave Frendell is a little bit twisted, but at least he did it on the right Nova. The fact, like we said earlier, that this is the only one known in existence makes the car extremely valuable. The restoration, we went through it from stem to stern, top to bottom. The car is perfectly straight. All the trim was done, the interior was done, the motor, tranny, rear end, everything was rebuilt. The car obviously runs and drives as good as the car looks. But the real value is under the hood, the fact that it's an aluminum head L89, the only one known in existence. The fact that it's a black car with a 4-speed obviously helps its value. Well, if you look at prices today, a Yenko Nova, a 69 Yenko Nova, is somewhere between $300,000 and $500,000. This car here should be priced in that same range. It's really tough. It's the only one that's really come out of the woodwork. Maybe there's another one or two out there, but what's it worth? Well, it's only worth what the next guy will pay.